What's up guys, welcome to a camera test comparison between the best of Apple and the best of Samsung. We have the iPhone 70 Pro Max against the Galaxy S25 Ultra. We are shooting in the 4K 30 FPS portrait mode video on both phones just to kick off this test, and you can also hear which microphone that I am speaking to depending on when we switch the audio. So yeah, let me know which one do you think sounds clear in the comments below. We are close to a highway, so there's quite a lot of background noise going on. So it's kind of a perfect scenario to test out the microphones as well. Let's begin with the test. And now we have switched to the front camera. We're still shooting in the 4K 30 FPS portrait mode video on both devices. Now we have the brand new 18 megapixel selfie sensor on the iPhone 70 Pro Max with center stage feature, which means it can automatically change horizontal or vertical orientation without me changing my positioning of the hand. I think it's a really clutch feature. But let me know which one you think is doing a better job. It's a pretty bright day actually, it's very sunny. So I am lucky to shoot this video on a sunny day in Berlin. Now, before we move forward, the case that I've used for the longest time on my iPhone is from Banks, and now they are back with even more exciting case lineup for the iPhone 17 series. What makes these cases special is that they're extremely light, thin, beautiful, and have Kevlar fiber for top-notch protection. The new Armor Grade Armor Air case is just absolutely unreal. It is probably the thinnest, lightest case that I've tried on the iPhone 17 Pro Max. I mean, just look at the color and texture on this. It feels amazing in hand. Then we have the Prestige Armor Pro and Aurora Armor Pro cases. These are also super slim with unique finish that looks really good and feel good in hands as well. There's also a standard armored grade with even more protection and that same unique finish. And finally, the Mist case. If you prefer something traditional, this one has got you covered with a metal frame and top-notch protection. My personal favorite was the Grand Combo that come with Armor Grade Armor Air case, as well as the ring holder that matches the same design as this case, looking really good, and a high-quality strap that you can attach on your phone for added protection. The ring holder not only allows you to dock your phone in vertical or horizontal orientation, it also gives you extra grip once you slide your finger in so no one can yank your phone out of your hand. And to top it all off, the glass barrier screen protector is just so easy to install with Sapphire coated durability, built for daily protection, free from all the bubbles. So definitely check out Banks cases. Use my special code ZTECH for 15% off. Links are mentioned in the description below. So now we have switched to the back cameras on both phones, 4K 60 FPS using the main 1x lens, just to check out the performance from the main lens that people are going to use for the most of the time. Obviously we'll be testing out other lenses as well, but you can see how colors are looking on both phones. 4K 60 FPS. Obviously we can go to 8K on the S25 Ultra if we want to. That will get us more detail. Obviously in this kind of scenario we can definitely do that, but 4K 60 is perfect. So now we're going to switch to the ultra wide angle lens on both phones. So first on the iPhone, then we have the S25 Ultra. You can see both go pretty wide for us to have a lot of the stuff in the frame. Again, no stoppage of the video, consistently shooting 4K 60 FPS. So both allows you to switch the lenses, but what's interesting is that with Samsung you can even switch to the front camera. So if I just do that real quick, as you can see, now we are with the front camera without stopping the video. This is something that I can't do on the iPhone. So I hope they add that feature in iOS 36 or whatever, because we know they're going to take ages to add it. But we are back to the ultra wide angle lens. It remembers the back camera as well, so it's not going to switch to the 1x. I think Samsung has done that brilliantly. Well, let's do a quick zoom test on both phones. So we're going to jump to 4x on the iPhone, and now we're going to jump to 5x on the Galaxy S25 Ultra. I've just adjusted the perspective, so we're looking at the same scene. You can see 5x definitely is closer to 4x, but this 4x sensor is now higher resolution and it's a bigger sensor than last year's model, so we should still get more detail. But we're going to use the optical or zoom mentioned on the video, I mean in the controls by both companies. So 4 to 8x on iPhone, while Samsung has the 10x button. So I'm going to jump to 10x. I'm going to manually zoom to 10x on the iPhone as well. So now we are looking at the same scene. Let's zoom all the way to 24x on the iPhone 17 Pro Max. The video zoom has now been increased to 24x, while Samsung is doing up to 20x. So can you imagine that Apple now has longer zoom for video compared to Samsung? So just a quick indoor sample. We're in a coffee shop, so got off the station to have a quick coffee. I'm gonna jump into ultra wide on both phones. And now is the night time, so we're shooting 4K 30 FPS on both phones. This is pretty dark, but we do have some lights in the background. We're shooting 4K 30 FPS on both phones. Now right from the screen I can tell that it's a lot better on the iPhone, like especially the dark areas. As you can see in the building, pretty much everywhere that is dark, it's a lot exposed, well exposed on the iPhone. Full darkness. And now we're gonna quickly switch to the ultra wide angle lens on both phones. You can see obviously the best lens is always going to be 1x, especially for the dark scenarios, but just for the sake of comparison, you can see here's a quick sample of the 4K 30 FPS using the front camera. We have just a little bit of a decent light under this street lamp. Let me know which one is looking good. All right, let me give you guys my thoughts on the camera test between the Galaxy S25 Ultra and the iPhone 17 Pro Max. Right off the bat, I would say that the zoom performance on the iPhone has definitely improved compared to previous generation, especially when you consider the long range shots. They've definitely closed the gap with Samsung, but nothing too extraordinary. Like, it doesn't actually beat Samsung or anything. They both process the photos differently. Samsung goes for like a super sharp look, while the iPhone super zoom shots are kind of soft. It's gonna come down to personal preference, which look you prefer. Now, one of the biggest improvements this year on the iPhone 17 Pro Max is the front camera. It is 18 megapixel. It's hands down probably the best selfie sensor on a phone right now. It takes super sharp and wide selfies. Not just that, even the HDR performance is really good. No matter how many times I took this shot, it was always better in HDR performance compared to the front camera performance of the S25 Ultra. Also, portraits from this new 4x zoom lens are really sharp and perhaps one of the best you can find on a phone. It's similar to the S25 Ultra. They both have a different look, so it's gonna come down to personal preference, but both do fantastic job when it comes to the edge detection. When it comes to video performance, daytime shots are quite comparable on both phones in terms of the colors, skin tones, and detail. However, Apple is clearly in the lead when it comes to those super low light video shots where not only the image have less noise, it's also way brighter than the output of the S25 Ultra. I would say Apple has improved the noise reduction even further this year. Like, this is a beast of a camera setup for low light video performance. Now, the weird thing with the iPhone 17 Pro Max is that I'm not able to take the portrait night mode. This is something I can do with the S25 Ultra with every single lens. Because iPhone can't do this, I wasn't able to test it out, but Samsung takes really good night portraits compared to the iPhone 16 Pro Max last year. But like I said, this is not working on my 17 Pro Max and on my iPhone Airs. I'm not sure if Apple has removed this option or maybe it's something that only I'm facing. But it is weird to see that there's no night mode portrait photo option on the 17 Pro Max. Also, Samsung is better at taking close photos. With iPhone 17 Pro Max, I had to either go further back, I could switch to the zoom lens, or I would have to switch to the macro mode, which obviously loses on to the depth detail. Now, when it comes to general photos, the most used 1x lens. They both have different color science going on. Overall, both are really good. It's gonna come down to personal preference. But where Apple is better year on year is that they process their photos at 24 megapixel by default. So when you do pixel peep, there is more detail. I really hope Samsung brings default 24 megapixel photos with the S26 Ultra, I guess, next year. You can obviously manually switch to 50 megapixel or 200 megapixel, then you will get a lot of detail, but it's just that 24 on default seems like the next move that Samsung should also do. So that's it for this video. Let me know your thoughts about this in the comment section below. Subscribe if you're new here. With that being said, I'll catch you guys later. Peace out.